Every day, hundreds of children from across the Southeast travel to Georgia for surgery. Many end up in the operating rooms of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Well, tonight in our special report, we go inside the OR at Children's Healthcare at Scottish Rite, where Health Watch reporter Beth Galvin met some amazing doctors, nurses, and young patients. Beth?
Russ and Amanda, surgery is scary enough when you're an adult, but imagine being a little kid. And every day, about 50 children come through the surgery center here at the Scottish Rite campus, and the staff knows what happens right here in their OR could change these little lives forever.
It's well before dawn. The first commuters are just hitting the road.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
And the surgical staff of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite is facing a daunting schedule.
This one, room 5 is pretty busy, room 6 is pretty busy.
Over the next few hours, 40 young lives will be in their hands.
Some kids will come in, the first thing they say is, "I'm scared."
Everybody in the huddle, let's go.
All right, the word of the day is compassion. Let's have compassion taking care of our children today.
1, 2, 3, compassion!
With 12 operating rooms, this is one of the busiest pediatric ORs in the South.
There are 2 people here.
Some young patients, like Fredcedra Tolbert.
This is her longest surgery I've ever had to sit through.
And Thomas Lewis.
Are you a little nervous or? A little.
Face complicated, risky surgeries. Others, like Maddie Sausaby and Isabella Evans.
She's a very sweet baby. Very sweet baby.
More routine operations. But for every child and every parent here,
you're just hoping that your kid's going to be okay.
Today is a big deal.
Children are not like adults.
He likes to put his own mask on.
Noah Nails is one of the first cases of the day.
Noah was born without a nostril. He had on his right side.
The Ackworth 4-year-old has had 6 operations at Children's since November.
He told me this morning he wants to spend the night, though, so he can order food to his room.
But to really understand Noah's story, you have to go back to his beginning in an orphanage in China. Noah was born with a facial cleft, a cancerous eye tumor, and a partially formed nose.
Cinderella.
And although Jason and Jennifer Nails already had 3 kids and had just adopted Mia from China, they saw Noah's picture on the internet and fell in love. That was 3 years and 13 surgeries ago.
We started out with Noah missing half of his nose when he came over from China, and we're working for the last few years in reconstructing the outside of the nose as well as the inside.
Well, he has a great personality, so he's really resilient.
He never gets down. He's always running around, getting into some kind of mischief. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Children's plastic surgeon Dr. Fernando Burstein used pieces of Noah's rib and ear to rebuild his nose. And today, he'll place a stent to open his nostril and help him breathe. But first, Noah wants bubbles, from child life specialist Allison Young.
I come in as the person in charge of the fun stuff. We've got movies, we've got games, we've got bubbles.
And Allison is using those bubbles to get Noah comfortable with the anesthesia mask he'll wear.
We gotta dip it in the bubble juice.
The main goal is just to help them to be more comfortable in an unfamiliar setting. You know, nobody wants to have to come to the hospital, especially kids.
Say, Mommy, I'm hungry. Where's my food, Mommy?
2 doors down, 4-month-old Isabella Evans is facing her second surgery.
When she was born, she had a couple marks on the right side of her face, and we thought it was just ruptured red blood cells.
When the marks didn't go away, Children's did an MRI and found the Mableton newborn has a fast-growing vascular tumor called a hemangioma wrapped around her right eye.
It extends from all the way in around her eye socket to right here, right before her brain.
Isabella is on powerful steroids, but instead of shrinking, her tumor is growing relentlessly.
The reason why they have to kind of get it under control is because if not, when she grows, it will grow with her. And the problem is that it could take over the eye.
As Nadine and Isabella wait,
What kind of slushie did you want when you got back? I can't remember.
Noah heads to the OR. But no matter how many times he's been through this drill,
All right, magic doors open.
Okay, let's hold hands, ready?
the closer he gets to surgery, the more he realizes he's on his own.
Here we go, sweetie.
Isabella is too young to remember the first time she was carried into the OR, but her mom Nadine sure does.
I completely lost it. Like, I was just crying because, you know, it's your newborn baby. And you're just like, oh my God, my baby's going to surgery.
Back in OR 3, the anesthesia team finally has gotten Noah to sleep. And Dr. Burstein's ready to go.
All we're doing today is simply dilating it, making the nostril a little bigger, and then we're going to put a little stent in it.
The procedure takes just about 30 minutes, and as a still sleeping Noah is rolled into recovery, it's Isabella's turn. But this time, instead of using scalpels, Dr. Burstein uses lasers to cut off the blood supply to the lesions you can see and the much deeper tumor you can't. It's Dr. Burstein's second surgery of the day, 4 more to go. And in just a few hours, Isabella
You guys are heavy.
and Noah will get to go home. Their day is over.
You ready, gorgeous?
But 13-year-old Fredcedra Tolbert, who has cerebral palsy and a badly curved spine, is facing a much longer ordeal, a surgery that will dramatically change her body and her life.
And I spoke with Noah's mom, and she says he's doing very well. He's back in pre-K, but he will have to come back here for surgery once a month for the next 6 months. Isabella's mom says she recovered well, but her tumor continues to grow around her eye, so she's going to have to come back for surgeries, and she's going to start taking an experimental drug to try to shrink the tumor. Coming up at 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to take you inside Fredcedra's 8-hour surgery, and we're going to show you what makes the staff, the doctors, the nurses, the techs, everybody who works here so extraordinary in the way that they work with these children every single day, who some of them are facing life and death surgeries. Live from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite, Beth Galvin, Fox 5 News.
We are so lucky to have those doctors and nurses in our community. The parents seem more nervous than the kids, and not surprisingly. What's done to help them, Beth?
A lot is done for the parents. One of the doctors said it's not like we have one patient here, it's like we have 3 patients, because you have the patients and the parents to take care of. So they call the parents from the operating room about every hour. They have child life specialists like Allison who come in and talk to the parents if they need to talk. All of the nurses and everybody else here are also pretty much in tune with the parents just to make sure that they're okay, because this is so tough, as you said, on them.
Exactly, and then to think this is just one day.
No kidding.
This is just, yeah.
All right, we look forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks, Beth. It's an extraordinary place you don't get to see very often, where children from newborn babies to teenagers face sometimes grueling surgeries.
Well, tonight, Health Watch reporter Beth Galvin takes us inside the operating room of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite. Beth joins us now with her special report. Beth?
And Russ and Amanda, none of us likes going to the hospital or having surgery. But the 3 kids that you're about to meet have lived with pain for a long time. So they may have been scared, but they were ready as our cameras followed them right into the operating room.
It's still dark out.
This one, room 5 is pretty busy. There are 2 people here.
But the long day has already begun inside the OR at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Scottish Rite.
Let's have compassion taking care of our children today.
Over the next few hours, 40 kids will undergo surgery here.
Here we go, sweetie.
Some so small they have to be carried into the OR.
All right, here we go, big guy.
Others take their stuffed animal with them. Fredcedra Tolbert has dressed up in her favorite high school musical outfit for the biggest operation of her life.
Hopefully this will be the last one for a while.
The Noonan 6th grader has cerebral palsy.
Her cerebral palsy affects her motor skills and her muscular skills, but her brain works fine.
But Fred's spine is so badly curved she can no longer sit up straight.
All right, you ready? Okay, you know what we're doing?
That is why children's orthopedic surgeon Dr. Michael Schmitz will use metal rods and wire to try to fuse Fred's spine at a normal angle.
It's a big surgery, and with big surgery are potentially big complications.
I love you. Well, I'll see you in a little while. It won't be long.
Sugar.
Fred has been through this drill a half dozen times.
Andy and Dr. Johnson were on our way to OR 12.
And she's frustrated.
She said, I am angry, I am tired, and then she put in her computer, I want to go home.
The last time, Maddie, that you had something to eat? Last night at 9.
Down the hall, Maddie Soseby isn't nervous at all.
I'm really excited, actually, get it taken out. And
the Gainesville 17-year-old feels like her life has been hijacked by gallbladder pain.
It's affected the way that she eats. It's affected her going to school. It's kept her from participating in certain activities that she wants to do.
Maddie's surgeon, Dr. Julie Glasson, says most kids would do anything to get out of an operation like this.
She asked me, can you do the surgery tomorrow? Because I want to get my life back.
And if all goes well in the OR, Maddie may soon be pain-free. That is exactly what Thomas Lewis is hoping for.
Are you a little nervous or?
A little.
For 2 years, the Lilburn 12-year-old's legs have hurt so badly at night he can't sleep. Doctors first thought it was just growing pains.
Kids never can hide their true feelings or issues. So when a kid tells you he's in pain or having weakness or any problems, then it's real.
And it was. His surgeon, Dr. Barun Brahma, says he's got something called a tethered spinal cord.
A tethered cord is a situation where the actual spinal cord is stuck for some reason.
More than anything, we're just glad to know what it is and to, be here to get it taken care of.
But that doesn't make the goodbye any easier.
I don't think any parent wants to see their kid to go through surgery. And I think when you add the word neuro in front of the word surgery, that makes it even a little more scary.
We're exposing the pelvis now.
A few doors away, Fred's operation is off to a slow start.
This is a big surgery for me as well. It takes a long time. It's about 300 steps or so.
Hi. This is Dina.
Every hour, her mother Nora gets an update from the nurse.
Here's the gallbladder.
Maddie's operation is moving much faster. Dr. Glasson uses a laparoscope to take out her gallbladder without having to make a large incision. In less than 2 hours, Maddie is out of surgery and upstairs with her parents, where she'll spend the night. Thomas's surgery is done with a large microscope.
It really has kind of opened up the vision that we have during operating.
It gives Dr. Brahma a detailed look at the base of his spine as he teases apart the tissue pulling on Thomas's nerves. But just as Thomas's surgery wraps up, a complication.
Okay.
He's having a hard time coming out of the anesthesia.
Pediatric anesthesia is, just difficult beyond belief, and it is an art and a science, and sometimes, unfortunately, it takes a little bit longer for patients to wake up.
After an anxious hour, the Lewises are finally reunited with their groggy son.
It's a good feeling to see him back in here, and looks like he's starting to wake up a little bit.
Thomas's ordeal is over. Fred Cedra's is not.
Fred Cedra's already been through 7 orthopedic surgeries, but nothing as complicated or as lengthy as this one behind me. She has already been in the operating room for 7 hours, and they're just wrapping up.
An exhausted Dr. Schmitz walks out after almost 8 hours in the OR. And Fred Cedra is moved into recovery.
She'll be pretty sore today. She won't be very happy with me for a day or so.
But the before and after x-rays of her spine show just how dramatic this surgery was. 2 weeks later, back home in Noonan, Fred Cedra is sitting up straight.
What is your name?
Making it easier to use the voice computer she controls with the tilt of her head. She is still sore, but hoping to go back to school soon.
What is this? An 8?
And Thomas?
I'm feeling much better.
He's a little stiff too, but he says his pain is almost gone, and he can't wait to just get back to being a kid again.
Well, I really want to go out and play with my friends and ride my bike.
And some of the kids who go through Children's OR are so young that they're almost too young to understand what's going on. So Children's has child life specialists who guide these kids on their level through the surgery process so they know what to expect. And the staff also pays a lot of attention, as you probably noticed, to the parents, and that's because many of them are struggling, Russ and Amanda, with a lot of emotions when they go in there.
Hold their breath for 2, 3, or 4 hours at a time.
And can you imagine 8 hours that your child's in surgery?
Those doctors and nurses, they just change people's lives, don't
Yeah,
they?
all you have to do is look at Fred's x-rays. It's
Yeah.
amazing, the before and after, wow.
To see the smiles.
Yeah.
Thanks, Beth.
Thanks.